Alright, so we have the diagram for the question there, and the question reads as follows. The area of the trapezium above is 22 centimeters squared. What is the value of x? Alright, now this is an example of a question where the formula is given, right? So I want to draw your attention to the existence of the formula sheet in the multiple choice exams, because in fact, even in the paper too, a lot of students, they don't use the formula sheet. And I want to take this opportunity to remind you to use the formula sheet, right? There are little things that will help you along. So if you have a formula sheet, don't lose marks in a question like this if you didn't remember the formula simply because you didn't use the formula sheet. That is not wisdom. Excuse. You have to be wise, you have to be strategic, you have to be pragmatic. And you could check that out as a word for your vocabulary for English language, right? So we know that the formula is a half area, right? Yes, the area of a trapezium, area is equal to a half the sum of the two parallel sides. So in this case, the area would be a half by x plus 7 multiplied by the perpendicular distance between them. In this case, it will be 4. So if you don't remember this formula by heart, it is on the formula sheet. Go and use it. Now there are certain formulas that you will not get on the formula sheet. Things like, generally speaking, the formula for straight lines you wouldn't get on the formula sheet, right? Things like finding the gradient of a straight line, the equation of a straight line. You wouldn't get that, the distance between 2 points in a straight line. You wouldn't get those things in a formula sheet. So, in other words, you have to know the formula sheet, know what formula you will get on the formula sheet, and as you see a question, you recognize, well, alright, if I don't have the formula at the tip of my fingers, I could refer to the formula sheet. Knowing your exam, knowing your syllabus, that is part of the preparation. Right? It's not just about doing the past papers, but it is about knowing. It's a certain kind of knowledge that you have to have of your exam syllabus and of your exam paper, of your exam structure, that kind of thing. Right? And we will talk more about that every opportunity we get. So if they say the area is 22, alright? So the area is 22. So 22 is equal to that. Now, here is where your algebra enters the picture, right? And I'm taking every opportunity I get in these multiple choice videos to remind you, one, of the importance of the algebra, and two, to do some little level of revision. So in this case, remember we're doing POMDAS, right? So 22, and I'm taking my time with this now. You have a half here, you have x plus 7 by 4. So this half multiplied by x plus 7 multiplied by 4. So what I'm going to do is break this down, like really break it down, so that I could open it out and you get an opportunity now to understand the algebra. And of course, this is something that you could also take into your paper 2 as well. So this would be a half, let me put that as one fraction, multiplied by x plus 7 over 1. Let me put that as another fraction, multiplied by 4 over 1. Right? So this is the same thing as that. So in opening it out like this, this is me now giving you a little revision, a little reminder of what the algebra is supposed to look like. So if we come across here with this now, we get 22 is equal to, watch it now, 1 by x plus 7 by 4. Right? I put in each entity as a separate, in a separate bracket by itself. 1 into x plus 7 by 4, right? All over 2. Well, it will be 2 by 1 by 1. Let me just write this over. So we get 22, which is the same thing as 22 over 1, is equal to 1 by x plus 7 by 4 all over 2 by 1 by 1. So different levels of algebra proficiency in terms of people watching this video. You may not have to go through all this, you may not even have to go through this. But again, I'm taking the long approach so that even the slowest student in the algebra, even the student who having some level of difficulty in the algebra, could look at the video and feel some sense of comfort in realizing that I could do this too. Now, of course, if you need the extra practice, then you have to go and take the extra practice. There's no running away from it. So, what we have here now? Basically, what you'll have 1 by 4 is 4. So you got 4 into x plus 7 all over 2 is equal to 22 over 1. And then you cross multiply. 2 by 22 is 44 is equal to 4 into x plus 7. And then you divide both sides of the equation by 4. So you got 11 is equal to x plus 7. And if 11 is equal to x plus 7, then 11 minus 7 is equal to x. Therefore, x is equal to 4 centimeters. Alright? And the answer, therefore, would be answer C. Let me just confirm that with the answers that I have here. Yes, the answer is, in fact, answer C. Alright? So take this as an opportunity, one, to kind of go back through the formula for the area of a trapezium, and two, to remind yourself of the algebra so that you could implement this both in a paper 1 setting as well as in a paper 2 setting.